Good evening and welcome to the Soviet Republic of N.E.W. Last time we were here, I think it was 1996 or something thereabouts. It is now 20 years later, 2000 or 2007, something thereabouts. So time has passed, quite a bit of time has passed here in the Soviet Republic. And how did we end up here? I actually have a bit to show from how we ended up here, but I don't have it really well prepared as always. Let's just try and throw something up here and see how that goes. For example, yes, we have this very. That's working right. Yes, it is. What's this? This is in the 2000s, passing by extremely quickly. I don't know. Screw this. I think that this only goes on like so. If one were to do something here, we can start by, if we silence. All over the place. There's the live thing. 30th of August 2017. We've gotten to and 8.8 billion rubles in the bank and about to reach $7 billion in the bank. I don't know what's been going on. This town down here has had a bit of traffic issues, one could say. I reset it all a few time ago. I got rid of all the cars for them. You can see how that looked, maybe. Try here. What did I name that? Why isn't it here now when it was here? Oh, here it is. If we do that. Yes, so this is how this happened. I sold all the cars from the parking lot, and then they sold a few new automobiles here. Time moves rather quickly. This was then 2 years ago. This isn't making any sense. It's just stuff going by really fast. This is Marxist-Leninist Utopia, a series in concentrated form is what we have. I don't know. How long does this go on for? 3 minutes 33 seconds. It takes time. Colleagues up to things here. Every now and then she walks away. I think she comes back eventually. I don't know what is the many hours. It's a second of, no, it's not, because running full speed. I don't know. My colleague is back in a different spot apparently. Vehicles are getting sold out and so on. More trains are coming. It still goes on for a while longer. What this leads to, you can see better examples of here when you have many cars amongst the people. I think that, for example, if we look at the airplane factory in 2014, see, we have the airplane factory in the foreground. We can see it's actually visible down here how many workers are in it. This is we can see all the workers going around in the personal cars. We can barely make out just how bad the traffic actually is, but still, we actually managed to have 250 people in there, which isn't too bad. No? Yes. Look at I have another one here named. This is great. I know. It's fantastic. Tourism. This has all looked a bit funny with the helicopters going and moving the tourists back and forth from town and so on. Also out to the airport for tourists. That's the airport for internals that we see. We also have a helicopter bringing in food for the shopping center here, because the streets are almost always completely clogged. Yes, was at this time. But the helicopters are practical, I suppose. Supposedly trying to get the second hotel here. There we go, it's coming up. There, it's done. They can intermingle here. We bring a few tourists from Soviet and Soviet 2013, Russia, and from the EU, I suppose. We also bring tourists who pay in US dollars. Yes, that's how it is. We are independent though, still here in between the EU and the East or the Russia, whatever it is supposed to. History has lost perspective and meaning here, sort of. Yes, we have the live thing. Let's see what's going on. There are things flying around here. Is something burning maybe? The View Cafe bar is burning. I brought a helicopter. They didn't have like a fire engine around. Also having we have 1,500 personal cars. That was the top count there in a town of 6,000 or so. It does not do great things for frame rate. No, it kills it pretty much. Yes, pretty much kills it. Okay, yeah, so this was the most convenient way to put out this fire. I suppose it was, because we don't have a fire station up here actually. No. And that is quite a spectacle for the tourists and everyone else too. See the helicopters come in. Your hot water tank there is not quite hot. Your neighbor there is much hotter. I think that you're on the like very far away from this thing is the problem. Yes, you are indeed. I can't dare to. Should I fill it with this now? No. This when was this built? I don't know. It was long ago. Don't fill with this now. Then everyone will be unhappy. These have 3 helicopters on this. They go from here. They go to the airport. They go back here. They go down to town. And of course, always all 3 coming and going at the same time. We have workers here too. They in the hopes that they will work here, but they have very poor service, unfortunately. one worker got off. But I would suppose that you find work, right? Because this is within range of the factory, is it not? Where there should always be no place to store finished vehicle. Is that so? There you got off. Very good. And if there are tourists available here, they're wanting to, there should be tourists coming in. Yes. Where have you come from? From Wester, from the EU. Yes, we have built aeroplanes for Qantas, Air France and Qantas, apparently. So I suppose we sell them to them. Oh, and we get $128 million. This inflation is starting to go, and there we got one for KLM. The Royal Dutch something or other. Air France. Peterson. You know what? The French are not getting their plane. Australians, though, we better not mess with too much. The KLM one might keep. There you have it. What's this? Not the same plane, you know. We're going to have no, unfortunately we're not going to get a drag race here between a 2U144 and a 787, since there is another TU144 coming in to land. How are you supposed to? How are you thinking here? Are you thinking to go that way and then you go out? Now we keep the Dutch one for ourselves. They can come get it when they're around. There we go. How many does this actually take? Quite a few. Damn it. How many? More passengers, yes, but how many? Capacity, 290. That's pretty good. These cramped things, 150. Loud, expensive things to run. Damn it, we use so much fuel nowadays. Economy and trade, and during the time, maybe that might be visible. Let's see here if we can do domestic production and consumption and set a starting date here for 20 years ago. That's going to be many clicks if we're going to yeah, but this is no, you can't be serious. Not at this rate. Oh, they're about halfway there. About anything you can do. Continue doing this with that one, and then get something going with that one. Not so bad. Come on. 2000s. Yes. Hello, colleague. We don't have a colleague cam. Isn't actually that far away. 1994, sure. Yes, 1st of February of 1994 until today. Domestic consumption and production. Overall. Aluminium. Yes, one thing that you have to do manually here every few years is to replant the forest, otherwise chemical production stops. So therefore aluminium production stops. Aluminium oxide also stops. Steel, however, is constant. Coal is very constant. Bauxite is very constant. Chemicals correlates quite a bit to that. Yeah, and coal, ore, electricity. Nuclear fuel, food. About, yeah, we've had more or less the same population constantly here. Fuel. So what's going on there? Don't know. Meat. Lots of meat. We make wood. We could probably see where is wood. There is wood. Yes, it goes down, and then it goes to nothing, and that's what happens with the thing. Anyway, other than that, it's pretty good. Fabric also stops. Then I would suppose clothing also stops. Clothing. Yes. We have a stockpile, so as long as you come in and replant the forest every now and then, it'll be alright. Yeah, and don't close this now. It was a lot of work to and there's more interesting things here to do. Consumption of resources, vehicle fuel we can look at, for example, and there we can see quite noticeable where all the vehicles, all the personal cars were sold off for the town here. That's also a thing that happens when you have 1,500 vehicles, vehicle owners, vehicle utilizers, utilizing their vehicle to some extent. It uses quite a bit of fuel. Yes. That is for the airplanes. This is for the trains. I would suppose, since that's vehicle fuel and power, electricity. So, yeah. And overall, we can see, yeah, we made that much electricity power, but how much wind did we extract to run the trains? It's exactly the same as the trains. No, it's not exactly the same, because it also does a few other things. It actually extracts bauxites and bauxites. Yes, it extracts bauxites and oils. Here's what it does. Yeah, it's working pretty well, I think. 20 years, no major catastrophes. Citizens facility. How can this increase? Is the amount of money that is increasing? Yeah, there we can see inflation. How much is going up? So yeah, everything is pretty much constant here. Very, very stable, I would say. And industry, what do we do? We consume have consumed 33,000 tons. A lot of electricity. Iron, livestock, 65,000, 6,000 tons iron ore, electrical components. How much nuclear fuel have we used in this 20 years? 154 tons. Okay. And nuclear waste, it is not on here. How much nuclear waste it's not consumption, it's a production. Nuclear waste, 77 tons at 4 million rubles worth. It's real cheap to get rid of that stuff. And so very useful, this atom energy. Yes, and well, it's working. Yeah, damn it, it's working. Wouldn't you know it? Yes. This place is not even reasonable now. Rather reasonably. But it will eventually, and in time, we head over to here. Hello. Well, there are a few things going on. Yes, here we have this train. Yes, every so often it fills up, and when it so does, it goes down to the space for vehicles down there at the town and unloads. By this time I've set the occupancy of car parks to 25% at a car dealer, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I wonder if this is still working, that they're taking the people to down to visit the opera, or the opera. I keep saying it's opera. It's a theater, I think it says here. Theater. It's the opera now. Where did you come from? You live in an aluminium town. Indeed. You see, she came from all the way up here. This is where she lives. And she came all the way down here to go to the opera. Via aeroplane. Lovely. It's pretty good. This works. Are you happy? I was supposed 99%. 83% loyal, 84% healthy. You're doing pretty well for yourself. And you got a little happier by visiting the... You got 350% of your cultural demand there. Quite... No electronics. You don't like radios and televisions, I suppose. So you take the airplane down here every so often. Yep. Do you get 100% happy from this? The next day, we'll see. That's great that that's working. And also it's great if we now look at this town. How much educated people? Quite a lot of educated people actually. 3,204 workers. And 1,985 with a basic education. Yeah, so that's on top of, however it works, it's the actual population of 6,000. Yes, but of which 4,000 or even 5,000 are not working. No. 3,500. Don't know quite how these correlate, and I know. No education, never mind. Yeah, you got 100% happy from visiting the opera down in Third Town. Yeah, you're 40 years old, your lifespan is 73. And your average productivity is 116%. They're doing well. These helicopters are quite loud to have around town. Right now we don't need them for bringing food into here. We need it for bringing food. It's fine with the trucks. But if the roads fill up again. Yeah, roads fill up and so on. So that's 20 years for you. I don't know for how long one should leave it running. It takes a few days. And 20 years. And it was incredibly crashy for a while, the game, for some reason. Then it stopped and it became completely stable. Don't know what's going on. But this is not too shabby looking. It's a bit gloomy, but then again, It is the Soviet Republic, and in September 2017, it's communist utopia. And 16 degrees, 8 meters a second, the sun is coming out. The sun is completely, it's a completely clear day, fantastic. 18 degrees, mild wind, very nice. The trains here, they're actually doing what they're rolling along. Why wouldn't they? They have been working for 20 years. Why should they stop now? They won't. And when I had this, with the thing here, which was very good, I could have looked another thing with not only the domestic consumption and production, but also the foreign exchange would have been quite interesting to have a look at how we have done and what we have done and so far all this time. Because, damn it, and now I lost. So not many clicks. It takes a few too many. And I don't know if I can. Come on then. S. Don't tell me that the plus minus. No, I think the plus minus sign there does like 1. Doesn't do a year. No, it does a month or something. Maybe it does a year if you first click year and then the minus sign. Yeah, but we're almost there. We only have a quarter of the way to go. If you continue clicking there and meanwhile click something here, anything, then it will go easier. There we go. That's about enough. August of 1995. Export of resources to the east. Aluminium. That stops when chemicals stop, obviously, but for 3 billion steel, 2.2 billion. So the aluminium is definitely not worth it, since we can obviously do pretty damn good with steel, and it takes a whole lot less faffing about, basically, to do steel than it does to do aluminium. A whole lot less. Yes, bauxite, 500 million. That's not insignificant. Bitumen seems to have stopped. Oil. Okay, we have apparently gathered up so much oil now that we have a surplus, that we are full in the reserve and therefore have begun exporting. Great. Or something isn't working as it's supposed to, but if it is working as it's supposed to, that's what's supposed to be going on. This we can't see here, but in total 6 billion and vehicles are not shown. And to the west, what have we sold? Aluminium, $5 billion worth. Bauxite and a few bits and bobs. Bitumen we were selling to the west, almost $1 billion worth. Chemicals, $500 million. Yeah, okay. If this should be working, that we're selling when we have excess, we will, as long as you replant the forest. Fuel we're not selling, no longer. Oil, there we go, a bit going to the west too, now that we have it built up. Nuclear waste. We have spent 5 million on getting rid of that. That's excellent. In the meantime, what did we buy? Crops. Yes, that is our main import here. For 315,951 tons. Then I've actually been building a few things along the way. There are some railroad for more oil extraction. Fuel, yeah, that's the automated bauxite extraction and other things that we have going on. Mechanic, yeah, that's building here and there. Yeah, those are on a few occasions apparently. like 3 occasions. Okay. What else? Vehicles exported. We've gotten that going quite well. 3.3 billion rubles and $2 billion. Aeroplanes and mostly cars imported. $2.7 billion in goddamn license to build goddamn airplane. Goddamn it, that's expensive to build those machines. Now, this whole thing with aluminium and all that crap is not worth it, as we can plainly see. Yeah, look at the Soviet exports. Aluminium, steel. I think we could probably put a little bit more effort into the steel and get basically the same amount of money that we get from the aluminium. And the aluminium employs like 5 times the amount of people, at the very least, if not more. With all the chemicals and the wood and every goddamn bit and bob that goes into everything here. There's so many damn piece of crap industry. Bauxite extraction, though, is really good, and bauxite refining might also be much worth it. Yeah. Did you have 0.7 electronics before? Have you managed to get rid of something? This time you got culture a bit as well. How did you do it this time? You're working at a shopping center here. 3 children. I say goodbye to you, Lisa. Yeah, goodbye. Hope you had a good flight. A few good flights. That's also the what shall I call it? Tourism. How is this doing? Spending in shops and restaurants, spending in hotels, spending in rides and traffic, 26 million. Pools or beaches, museums, sight towers, pub, cafe. They have everything they need at their hotel, and they don't seem to go out that much. So that they stay. What they do, if you want to see what a tourist gets up to here during their visit to our little kingdom or utopia, we should maybe not look at this one, because they might be a bit sad soon-ish when it gets cold. Very few people are staying here. You're watching television. They're not drinking though, but I've seen them alternating drinking and watching television in their hotel room. So that's what they do. Now we've gotten $111 million from them for this from the West. 25 million, 72 million in rides. They like apparently going on the helicopter. I think they do. But speaking of helicopter, we should have. It's a bit of a disgrace. We don't have a hospital with a helicopter platform. That seems a bit obvious thing to have. Oh. Since we already have them going around and making a goddamn racket here. Damn it, you're loud. I mean, the aeroplanes, they sound, they make a nice sound, sort of, except when you're traveling, following them along from ahead, or however it works now. They have ruined it. The sound, anyway, it was better before. Airplane parking is not what we want. Heliport is what we want. three times the amount of heliport. And could you, if we could get you there, will that work? Or do you need to be like, no, you can't be there because that's where the ambulances park regularly. Try. It's okay, we just make the lake for the firefighting helicopters a bit smaller. Yeah. Nice. There we go. So, in here, if you could get then the heliport. Still need to connect the road here. Sort of. I is willing to help. I think it will not be too bad. Oh, it comes. Flappy, 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 flap, 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 flap. Yes. A few workers are waiting. Airplane factory. How well are you working nowadays? Pretty good. No, the roads aren't stuck up in traffic completely all the time. And this is doing pretty well. The tourist should go here. Teleport platform. Small. 99%. Or all of them. They didn't though. Yes, they did. It just took a little time. The helicopters doesn't seem to go out here as often as they should. Oh, you should maybe replace these old. It's a bit here in 2017 to be using Tupolev 144s. For some reason the engine power is shown rather than the thrust. 128 tons. But like this thing is not even moving right now, and it's burning like an enormous amount of fuel here. It is burning fantastic amounts of fuel. Now what are you waiting for? Oh, you're waiting for this one, but you know, you could have taken this runway. That's sort of why I built two. So you wouldn't have this situation. But okay. We have a few more if we'd like. This was real nice. This was real good. This model and delivery and everything was real nice. Pardon me. Royal Dutch Airlines. Könische luften och någonting. Könische luft. Maybe. Or something completely different. Here we have 15 tourists from the Soviet countries. 15% government loyalty. How did they let you out? You seem like a happy fellow though. And cultured, yeah, quite sporty. Tikon. Millomir and so on. Yeah. I mean, that as I said here last time, 20 years ago, this place is done. And there is nothing else to do. Everything that we have is taken to its most extreme form, with the personal cars down in Third Town when it was, and it will be that way again. The aluminium factory is running at 100% all the time. You know, I plant a few trees maybe. I don't know when I did that last. It might have been a while. It seems to have been a while. And just to be sure, here over at First Town too. It was longer ago. I would think that I did this reforestation thing. Couldn't we have a reforestation office or something? I mean, it's not that hard to plant a few trees. Just as we have this, or this wood cutting post, tree farm, something, tree planting thing. Plant trees. Steel mill is only running at 50% capacity. All these red stars that you have here all around the place. This place is pretty intense too. The bus stop here in First Town. Bus stop First Town. So this is not very good. I had one of these that was fast as hell. This is even the same, or even slower. Stop screwing with this. There we go. That's what this looks like in great sped up fashion. Greatly sped up, somewhat sped up fashion. They come in empty, they leave full. Except I think I still have a line around here somewhere that actually doesn't load full, and I wonder what that is about, and if it's still supposed to be doing that. Iron miners. you get out? A few people at the bus stop too. I better not mess with it. It was probably in my mind, yes, figment of my imagination here, that I had a bus line there that was not set to load 100%. Yes, it was. Lennon is looking out over things, and that's it. That's it for this time, I think, from the Soviet Republic. I can continue running forwards for 100 years or so, if we like, but there's no point to it. It's working pretty damn stable this time. Knock on wood. But yeah, well, it's a whole lot less complex than TBD, but TBD is too complete and too complex, and it works, but unenjoyably so. 11, 12 FPS is not a great experience. This though is still a great experience. Enjoy. Here we have 38 students coming in to study. Will you go to the headquarters of the Communist Party, or will you go to the medical university? The choice is yours. Headquarters. Eleonora here, she went to the medical university, but Rollan, would be her, I think. Rollan, 16 years old. They're very young. Excellent. I miss that we're keeping well up with the education here. Will this be Rollan? Headquarters of the Communist Party with you, and Iona you're learning at the headquarters of the Communist Party. Not bad. Our car factory is running pretty decently too. Pretty decently. Yeah, we're making money. I wonder how long it takes to get the question of the way they've dealt with the runaway inflation here in the game is to, when it has gotten to a certain point, you get the question. Hello, this is the game engine. I noticed that you have been playing for a very, very, very long time. Do you want to cut all prices by 100? Or cut all prices by 100? I think what to do is move the decimal point 3 places. Yes. So take off these 3 numbers. Not 100 off it, but you know what I mean. And I don't know if that then would reset us back to where we started in 1960 or what it will do. But that's something. That could be interesting to see. But I wonder if when the day comes, do you want to push it? Yes, maybe. The numbers get so silly here later on. When you can't pronounce them anymore, you have to go Google how to pronounce it, and what comes out is unpronounceable, more or less. That is difficult. And also when you get a bug in the game when you want to buy something and the price actually is larger than a assigned 32-bit integer, but they fixed that, I think. I think that should be fixed now, so things can be more expensive than 2 billion, whatever it is. there's anything else to ramble on about with the Soviet Republic, because it don't seem like there is a whole lot of things happening here. I mean, there are a whole lot of things going on, just action-wise, and we're not taking a whole lot of action. We don't need to. It's all pretty stable and working well. Who needs more action than a Tu-144 taking off and an extremely long train of nothing right now, but that is going to the border and getting crops for what? First town, 2 tracks cargo station. That's food industry. This place is standing still. Can't store or export fuel. Is that so? Could start selling fuel again. But then also we use quite a bit of it. Yeah, it's okay. Here we sell raw petroleum instead, whatever left over. Right. Yeah. I think so. It's a lot more profitable to sell the diesel here. Yes, I can't be bothered. It's working. If we pull out it's also good to have an enormous buffer of diesel here. 13,500 tons rather than just 1,500 tons. That's not enough safety margin nowadays when so we have so many flying machines and the cars are getting pumped out to again. Here comes another train. What are you doing? You're transporting chemicals to the aluminium industry warehouse, which is 62% full of chemicals, but I suppose they would use more. And the wind appears to have died down. As you're on an incline and everything. The poor thing. The way it's picking up. It's picking up. It's sort of picking. It's not picking up. You're screwed, I'm afraid. You should apply the brakes now. And wait for the voltage to get up. We of course have the problem that all the trains in the kingdom wants to start at the same time, but the wind has gotten going enough. Even for you. Almost even for you. Come on then. What happened to the wind? It just stopped. Nine meters. Now here we go. 10 kilometers. Now it's moving. Now we're moving at 12 meters. Now it's picking up. And all of the trains are, of course, they're using quite a lot of power now simultaneously here to get up to speed. And that's why it takes quite a bit of wind. If it's gotten that bad that the trains have actually stopped moving completely, then it takes a while for them to get going again. It takes a bit of wind for them to get going. But it's completely possible to completely run even a very extensive set of trains. Two, no, quite a few more. All running off wind power, obviously. It's October. It ought to be windy as hell here. Hello, have you heard of October? It's wind and rain. They're not here. Now the weather. If I don't have anything better to say than about the weather, then I think I should say nothing. Now, I think that this Soviet puzzle is laid out in such a fashion that it is feature complete, It is working as intended. Yeah, this is intended to blink. Maybe not when the wind is blowing at 50 meters per second, but anyway, it always blinks then, I suppose. It has wind power too. The important bits are not blinking. This is not blinking. This is running off the stable nuclear reactor over there. I got nothing else to say. It is 2017 now. I don't know if we'll return. What it will be then. But it might be something. There might be nothing. Thank you so very much for watching the Soviet Republic of N.E.W. Yeah, if I start fiddling with this, I'll probably continue fiddle with it. This is a Republic. I have a hard time keeping hands away from it and attention away, but it's unhealthy, this damn game, when it comes down to it for me. Anyways, thank you so very much for watching. I said that, yes, I mean it, and I also mean that I wish you good night.